Hello. I know it's been a millennium, but you know, I always come back and say life be lifin', because you talk about a time of a season, and I heard earlier it's because we're going through a purge, and I had to remember, oh yeah, you have to rebirth yourself in a way, and that is never easy. And yesterday, oh Lord, it was a day, like one thing right after another. And then my son even called me and said, man, it sucks when they call you into work. Because I was like, why are you in uniform? He said, to prepare for the typhoon that's coming. That was like the last bit. And I just called my mom and started bawling. I was like, I can't take anymore. There's so much going on between work, new neighbors, home chaos that's not even my own, and it just gets to a point where I had to tell myself, okay, it is time to go into that egg. It is time to pull all the way back and just get myself back together, because I told a friend last week, like, I can't deal with any more drama that's not mine. And he said, how do you deal with drama that's not yours? And I said, it's all around me. And then being who I am, I've always wanted to help people. I've always wanted to say, it's going to work out, and encourage them to continue on. But then I had to realize my cup is empty. I had nothing left to give myself, my daughter, anything. It just, to the point that my whole body was aching. My mind, I couldn't sleep. I was doing it to myself, and I actually watched it firsthand last night of somebody doing it to themselves, and that was kind of like the final straw of, okay, it's time to shut down this nurturing, giver, loving, compassionate, overly forgiving. It's time to put that on pause and apply it to my own life. And I woke up this morning. I've been having weird dreams lately. But I woke up and I thought, don't give up. And I had to sit there and keep repeating it like a mantra. Don't give up. Don't give up. The world needs you. And something said it's time to tell everyone else. We forget. We forget our place, because those that are takers will suck the life out of you. And then those that our givers will give too much. And it's a toxic spectrum that we live on, because it takes balance. It takes going, no, I already gave to you and you threw it away, so I don't have anything left to give to you, and it's at a point where I have to remind myself once again, I'm not being selfish by saying I need me time. I can't do anything else for anybody else right now. It's time to cleanse my space. It's time to cleanse my spirit. It's time to go back to eating the healthier diet and, thinking more positively and listening to music that's more uplifting, because I know what it is, because it's spiritual warfare. And I actually have quite a few people that I have irritated the hell out of their demons. And they're like, nah, game on. And we have to remember that when people speak negatively of us, that sends certain energy your way, and you got to keep cleansing and thinking positive and pull yourself back up. Because I was at a point where I was like, I don't even know why I'm feeling depressed. I don't have anything to be depressed about. I mean, I can look at the negative in life and go, oh, that's why. But in the aspect of my life in general, it's good, It's not like we're looking at going without or having to do more than what is fair, I guess. Nothing's really changed other than my mindset. And I think a lot of us go through that, and we don't realize that's the issue. The way we've looked at things. When life was good, we looked at those negative things and said, whatever, not my monkey, not my circus. But then there's certain times where it's like, I don't know how to avoid it. It's all over me. And it just It's an ebb and flow. It's a reminder of things won't always be the same. It's like this remodel at work. We're all at the point where it's like, can they just finish already? Because it's almost like it's come to a lurching halt of what's being done. But that's the thing is, when things have to be rearranged or changed, a lot of things have to fall apart in order for that to come back together in a new fashion. You know, even the caterpillar goes into the chrysalis and basically turns into a ball of ooze and reemerges a totally different being. And I think we forget that when we're going through these changes, it's how we accept them in our lives that is the outcome of how it's going to affect us ultimately. Because you can fight something so hard and it's still going to happen. You know, you can say, I don't want it, but if it's meant for you, it's going to happen. And it can either happen to you or for you. And that's the old mindset, was everything's happening for me. It doesn't happen to me. I'm not a victim of my life. You know, I am blessed and guided and protected. And that anything that is changing up my life in a way is putting me on the proper path of where I need to be, because I've always worked to get to my higher self. I would assume some people are doing the same, because if you're not, you're choosing to stay in a toxic karmic cycle, and we all deserve better than that. We all deserve to feel the love that we have felt at some point. You know, that nurturing, loving. And for a lot of people, it's their great-grandparents. For me, I was lucky enough to have older grandparents that were from the Depression era, and they stood for something totally different than what a lot of people have experienced in this world, like this time frame. So when it comes down to it, once you've experienced it, it's something you want again. But then when you want that, it's something you have to pass out. You know, it's something you share with the world. But in the same sense, that's where it comes to, we have to learn, when do I stop giving? Because sometimes you're loving on the wrong people, and those people are using your energy and draining you and going somewhere else and getting some sort of gain out of being a little vampire. So you have to start reminding yourself that don't give up. The world does need you. It gets to a point where a lot of us feel like, I have nothing left to offer. You know, I'm so done. I don't want to do this. I was talking to my mom last night, and I said I need a vacation, and she said, that's funny, I just said that today. And her coworker was like, yeah, like a week. And my mom was like, I was thinking for like a month. And I was like, I was thinking for like a lifetime. The rest of this whole, I can't take anymore. And that was last night. But like I told somebody today is different, because today is a new day. And I have to reset my brain quite frequently, because I work in an area where there's a lot of toxic people. And that's the world in general. It's not just my job. And the more that you notice it and you succumb to it, the more that it will kind of shroud your life in darkness. So it's one of those things. I didn't watch it, but it was an Abraham Hicks video of your emotions are trying to tell you something. But then it was also, when negative things are happening, ignore them. Act as if they're not happening. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's so simple. But in actuality, it is so simple. We choose what we focus on. What we focus on, we attract. So negativity, you're going to get more of it the more you focus on it. It's something that, it's like a universal lesson, and eventually we get it. And I know a lot of times it's hard to focus on the positive when you feel like you're drowning in the negative. But the ultimate goal is to say, I have a higher power on my side, and they're my water wings. Like, you're not going to go down. And as long as you keep getting up saying, I matter, I'm not going to give up, I'm going to keep persevering, you become that warrior. You know, you become a person that's unshakable in a sense. And then you start to see your world change. And I will tell you, this hurricane that blew through, it brought a lot of things to light. Things that I did not want to see. And I'm pretty sure that's where a lot of the chaos, internal conflict came for me personally. Because it made me go, oh wow, people are wicked, people are this and that, and start looking on a negative scale and judging people in a way instead of to each their own. And I've always been to each their own. But I was looking at how things were handled and how it would affect the public. But then at the same time, it was almost like my heart was getting hardened to what was going on, how the people were behaving, what the people were expecting, what they were willing to do. You know, it's hard when there's this truth, this reality that becomes so blinding that it's almost like, whoa. I mean, I wouldn't want to have guessed, but it's not like it blew my mind, right? And it's like putting together a puzzle and in the end looking at the picture going, oh, I don't know if I wanted to waste my time doing that. I don't like the outcome. Like, it's scary. But I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point, trying to remind everybody that you got to keep going. It's like that race. It seems like it will never end. But we have to remember there's always light at the end of the tunnel. And a lot of times we're the light that is guiding our own path, because this world has definitely changed quite a bit. And don't let it destroy you. You know, that's where I was kind of getting almost in a sense that it was trying to destroy me. And I had to say, no, I can't let that happen today. So, I'm looking at a weird situation right now, but on that note, I'm going to figure out how to get to work on an alternate path, because the road's kind of blocked. But sending you peace, love, and light, and telling you don't forget to keep fighting. You're worth it.